So when you were a kid, were you like into music or sports or anything like that?
I was into yes, music. Me and my friends, my neighborhood friends would, we we'd sing and we just had so much fun in my little neighborhood. And and I did cheerleading and I danced and um I was in a dance, Mexican folklorico, like folkloric dance group till I was 12, I think. And yeah, kept busy, really busy. It and had a lot of family around me, of course. My dad's side was huge, and which is, and a lot of them like went into like the gang side, and and which was what I was being protected from mostly because there was a huge gang
So what
influence.
was that like for
But
you? What was that like for you? Were you like spending weekends with one side and then like, or you mainly with your mom, or how was the time split up?
100% my mom. Yeah.
Hmm.
My dad, yeah, he would come visit us. But he only lived down the street, so it wasn't.
Okay. But you felt that he was like a part of your life enough though. Like you got to see him a good amount still.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I
Hmm.
do. I did. It was, I had trouble like when I was like really young, like, my grammar school years where everybody had a mom and dad. But like fifth grade or so, people's parents started divorcing, and I was like, phew, mine too. So it was it was just always like I felt, like there was always like secrets and stuff that I didn't want people to know, which they probably did, and it didn't really matter. And but yeah, I just always lived in a sort of fantasy world. I mean,
Well, you didn't want to be so different that you stood out in that way that you were viewed like kind of weird from your
but
friends
I
or
was because because I just was. No, because I didn't. My mom wouldn't buy me the the clothes that would have made it so much more simple. Um, you know, so I didn't fit in that way. Just not that I was. You know how there's people that are in gangs, and then there's people who are just you know the culture.
right.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that. Like stretch belts, no. Babydoll shoes, no. Um, like pretty much black, no. Khaki, no. And like it was just,
Because you grew up real in the
you
LA
know,
culture, so you know the khaki suit, everything, the right Nike Cortez, like
right.
yeah.
Yeah, and you could dress that, down, and so but no, anything that meant gang affiliation was a no,
Were you
no.
even allowed to wear like the standardized LA hat? You know,
Nope, nope. And then in fifth grade, I went no, sixth grade, I went to private school to Catholic school, and till my senior year, I went to Oxnard High School over a boy, which was kind of dumb.
wow. So like that was a shift for you then, right? Was that a weird change for you to go to Catholic school for that time, that amount of time?
Then to go to public.
Yeah, versus because you were in public, then you went to Catholic school, then you went back to public, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
What was that experience like?
Oh, I really liked. I'm really grateful for the way it happened. Because private school, I believe, is set up for you to succeed, and public school, yeah. So like, because I went to private school, I mean, yeah, I pretty much had done my requirements, like, so, but I don't know if they still have these, but we used to have something called the proficiency test. Like, if you had to pass like this standardized test, and you start taking it your freshman year, and you have 4 years to pass it, right? It's
Right.
like writing a perfect paragraph, or just basic stuff, and so in private school they don't require that, right? So I'm like, okay, give me a test or whatever. And so I didn't want to take a math class in my senior year, but I had to, because you had to be enrolled in a math class in order to take the test. Makes no sense. But anyways, and I'm like, oh. So it was like either like physics, I don't know, or math 12, right? And I was just like, well, math 12. And so I was like, okay. So I'm like, let's just, and then the tests weren't like whenever you wanted them. It was, like they're set up for a certain time. So I had to actually go to the class for a while, right? But they graded it on attendance. I was like, how do I have a C in this class? And they're like, you were absent 3 times without an excuse. I'm like, what? Yeah, that to me like was like, how, I had 5 PE classes. I had to take my clothes on and off 5 times. It made no sense to me. Like, if I was wearing the same clothes, that would be like a mark off, and then that's how I think that they set you up to fail. Do you know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
has
So
nothing to
like
do.
in private school, you kind of get a little bit more privileges of like choosing like certain classes or like that are outside of the norm, like that
Well,
you
you don't
can't
get
do in public.
graded on attendance. I mean, I think that would show in your work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you don't get marked down for your for just being you, like, or things that aren't under your control. Or yeah, I think the rules are very clearly defined. Where in public school, like, sometimes even the teachers can make their own rules and stuff.